Good evening. I'd like to go ahead and we're going to get started. If you are still eating, please continue to eat. I'm not going to say anything that important, but you can't keep eating. This is just a brief warning about some of the contents of the speech. So 4 years ago, our class gathered to receive our short white coats on an occasion similar to this one. How we came to medical school was both different and the same for each of us. Some decided to be doctors as little kids. Others decided after another career that didn't work out quite the way they planned. But at some point in our lives, we chose to be physicians, and at that ceremony 4 years ago, our individual journeys became a collective one. You can tell from our class photo from that night how excited we were to be in medical school, and to have those short, gleaming white coats as a symbol of that achievement. It marked our entrance into a time where we would tirelessly learn about all the wonders of the human body and apply that bountiful knowledge to cure all the sick patients we would be responsible for as medical students. However, after 121 semester hours of basic science, the body becomes a little less mysterious. And after 217 semester hours of clinical rotations, it becomes a lot less mysterious. I'm not sure who picked white as the color for doctors' coats, but I don't think they spend much time in a hospital. This past Saturday, we had a not-so-white short coat burning party. While it's true that medical school was difficult and challenging, we are glad to have it behind us. It's also true we shared a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. All I have to do is mention certain topics, and every member of our class will know exactly what happened and smile at the memory. For example, the mistake we made regarding the Ingram brothers, Matt Murray's anatomy song, and Lane Rush's definition of professionalism. I know 90% of you have no idea what these things mean, so I'll share a little about them. Learning over 100 names and faces in a few days' time is not easy, especially when they look the same. When I first started school, I would be on one side of the campus at lunch and see this face. Then I'd walk to the other side of campus and would see the same person studying in the library. I thought, this must be the fastest guy in our class. A few days later, I saw these two faces together. And I thought, that explains a lot. They must be twins. But even that was wrong. They are brothers a year apart. The mistake was so common that almost all of us have a story about how we learned the truth about the Ingram brothers. It quickly became a running joke and would be referred to often. It even found its way into Matt Murray's anatomy song. Without a doubt, gross anatomy was the most demanding course in medical school. Whenever we speak about it, many of us get a look on our face like we survived some horrific battle from which we'll forever bear the scars. We dealt with the stress in different ways. Some people gained weight. Or partied more. A few had a major identity crisis. Matt Murray, he let his stress out in a constructive, creative way by parodying the Nelly song, Must Be the Money. I can only play a clip of the song, not only because of time, but also because of inappropriate content. By which I mean, there are a lot of obscure anatomical references that are only funny to medical students taking gross anatomy. I've included the words for the lyrically challenged.
If you want to go to the lab, you better get yourself some drugs and TCs. Oh, why? Westville this way. Hey, must be anatomy. Oh, why? Westville this way. Hey, must be anatomy. And now that I'm in one
There comes a point in medical school where you are so overwhelmed with information, you do not want to hear about anything unless it will be on an exam. One day we had a lecture on professionalism, which was more of a life lesson with no testable facts, and a lot of us were anxious to get back to our books. The professor, a retired surgeon, was walking around the room with a microphone like Oprah. He approached this person, Lane Rush, and asked, "How would you define professionalism?" Without cracking a smile, Lane answered, "Having a secretary, carrying a money clip, talking into one of those devices that records your voice." As much as we didn't like to learn intestable material, there were a few bits of useless info we couldn't help but pick up. Things like, who can eat a donut the fastest in the class? That honor goes to Lane Rush. That it's more fun to blow up plastic gloves than it is to wear them. And how many neuroanatomists it takes to turn on a computer. 6. Which is another way to say the entire department. For the past 4 years, medical school has served as our common denominator. It'd also be nice to have a class president who doesn't choke up when he does this. We have a lot of great memories to look back on. Tonight marks the end of that time, as we all go our separate ways into different specialties and into different places. We're glad that we can share this final memory, not only with the class, but with you, our family and friends. Thank you.
Good times. What? Good times.